Hello, I'm Mark Kolobaba, President and CEO of Atomera Minerals Corp. This is a short video to show some of the work that we've done in 2018. Specifically, some of the drilling that we've done has identified a new mineralized zone just to the east of the Overlook Mine. Now, before watching the video, I'd like to bring a few things to your attention. Here's a quick snapshot from that video. In green are the grade shells. Red is the magnetite horizon, which is associated with mineralization. Here's Overlook Mine. You can see how close that is to Oversight. Here's drill hole number 4, which shows that the Oversight mineralization is open to the north. Now, what we're interested in is this large area to the north that is completely untested. Now, we have generated a lot of data for this area. We have a lot of geophysical, geochemical, geological information that suggests something is going on in this area. As we know, this is dipping to the north, so the best thing to do is to move our drill holes to the north and drill back towards the south to see if we can just intercept that again. Here's a snapshot of our drill program drilling from north to south. This type of program will give us a lot of information. So take some time, watch the video. There's a lot of information in there. It's quite technical, but it will give you a very good idea on what we're thinking and how much work we've actually done on this project. Thank you.
Hole number 1804 returned 10.57 meters of 2.53 grams per ton of gold. Here you see illustrated in the company's 3D model of the oversight and drill target area, the hole in question. Within the 10 meters are two subzones, one of which, this one, is 11.2 grams, and this one is 10.2 grams. 13.5 meters away, hole number 1802 returned 19.4 grams at the bottom of the hole. What we can do is illustrate the position of this drilling in relation to a strong magnetite horizon that is part of the genetic makeup of these deposits. Let me illuminate the magnetite for you. Shown in red is magnetite, and you can see the thickness of this layer varies as it dips north. We have a thickened section of it in the vicinity of these new intercepts. What we can do with Leapfrog now with an emerging new zone of this nature is to impose grade shells, or calculate grade shells, and what I'll do is illustrate the 1 gram gold grade shell. And this is showing us that we have a new emerging target zone developing here, improving toward the northeast and the north, with potential for new drilling in that vicinity on orientations that we will change to a south azimuth and a steep dip in order to be optimal for the position of this mineralization. As you can see, we occupy the high ground with this drill pattern adjacent to the Overlook past producing mine, which is shown here. What Leapfrog has done is imposed a northeast trending vertical slicing surface, which I can vary the position of in this fashion, and you can see the slicing through the best of the mineralization in the mine and in the new area. If I light up the topography, it becomes obvious that we have an ideal situation developing in that we are much closer to the ground surface than the mined out ore body to the west of us, in a position that can be developed cost effectively with relatively shallow drilling. Shown in shades of brown draped on the topography are IP anomalies that were developed using the company's own IP system. We are in the process now of doing an inversion of this IP information so that we can get the full 3D aspect of it and bring it into the model. What we think the IP is showing us are disseminations of sulfides occupying fracture zones that are nearly vertical and trending north, and probably representative of feeders of fluids into the gold-bearing systems. Those intercept the carbonate and the magnetite at a high angle in the vicinity of the best mineralization. Just to pan out a bit, we'll use this view to illustrate the Cook Mountain area and the oversight trend. This is where we have additional IP information showing us anomalies. This is an attractive zone. This depression here is actually the Key West Pit, another mine. Let's go to the high-resolution Google Earth imagery instead of the IP for the, and that gives you a better look at the Key West Pit. It's important to make a point that the stratigraphy of these two zones trends directly into the floor of the Key West Pit. Just to go back to our current area of interest, let me move the cutaway back a bit. The intention here is to develop this volume to the north, and the proposed new orientation of drilling looks like this. So these holes are optimal for developing a north dipping zone to ultimately performing a formal resource estimation of the new gold zone as it emerges. The entire pattern of drilling as recommended is as follows. As you can see, Atomera will have more news and new information as this zone is moved over into the to the north.